There is a fable from Aesop about a dog carrying a piece of meat home when he happens to see his reflection in a river. Thinking this is another dog with another piece of meat, the dog lunges in an effort to steal it. Of course, he ends up with nothing. For one was only a shadow, says the fable, and the other was carried away by the current. In reality, most dogs aren't all that interested in images, reflections or otherwise. They know they're fake, or at least not worth their attention. People are rarely that discerning. Over the past decade, I've shared my home with 3 dogs: Rogue, Lupo, and Coda. In that time, I have amassed literally thousands of photos and videos of the beagles, as well as pictures and videos of friends' dogs, dogs I've encountered while traveling, dogs who live on the streets and margins. People began photographing dogs almost as soon as the technology was developed. Alone, with their people, in some cases, after death. Like the paintings, drawings, and prints that preceded these images, photographs offered something the animals' bodies could not: the gentle fiction of continuity after death. Such is the consequence of living alongside a species whose lifespan is so much briefer than our own. But photographs also promised something new: proof of presence, like a paw print. There is a vast perceptual gulf between a mosaic of a dog from Pompeii and a photograph of a plaster cast of a dog killed in that eruption. This image is several steps removed from the actual dog. First, there was the impression left by the dog's body in the volcanic ash, then the plaster cast of that impression, and then the photograph of the cast. The dog in this case is long gone. And still we believe there is a presence that stretches across nearly 2 millennia. It wasn't long after photography's invention that images began to move. It has long been a convenient myth to suggest that early viewers of such living images were fooled by them, much like Aesop's dog and his reflection. But there's no evidence to support this. For many early audiences, this development was less about viewing reality per se. Rather, it was about viewing images of reality. Reality filtered through the new technology of motion picture film. For a brief period, I became slightly obsessed with getting images of the beagles on actual film. I was naively fooling myself into thinking that it was somehow more connected to reality. I even bought a projector. The irony of sharing such images digitally is not lost on me. Most photographs and movies are no longer on film. Digital image capture overtook film years ago. Before becoming a viewable image on a screen, the light that is reflected off the beagles must first be turned into a series of ones and zeros, which are then interpreted and stored, and then those ones and zeros, or some offshoot of them, must be turned back into visible light for us to see. In between the subject and the viewer, there is always that stream of ones and zeros. Of course, most of the time, I'm not using a standalone digital camera. I'm using a smartphone, which likely means even more software trickery. Is this really Lupo? Or is it what a team of engineers and software developers think I want to see when I'm filming Lupo? This is also the means through which the vast majority of people beyond my small, local circle will know the beagles. They will know them only through images. That is, in absentia. These are my oldest pictures of Rogue, taken with an ancient cell phone camera from before she was even a part of my household. This is the oldest photo I have of Lupo, from his adoption listing on the shelter's website. And Coda's oldest photo, from when he was failing at being a hunting dog with another owner. This is the last photograph I have of Rogue. At this point, she has left behind just her images and a single paw print. The images of her are less memorials than memory bank. They spur recollection. There will eventually be last photos and videos of Lupo and Coda. At some point, the last individual who saw Rogue and Lupo and Coda in person will die. And then the last person who saw an image of them and could recognize it as such, rather than just an image of any beagle, any dog, will also die. At some point, they will just be anonymous beagles. Whether humans will be the ones doing most or any of that viewing is an open question. More and more of our images are viewed not by other people, but by machines and programs we've created. And by machines whose job it is to create images themselves. Machines that store and view our image memory banks. If a program composed of ones and zeros views an image made up of ones and zeros, will it even be an image anymore? Most importantly, will dogs still be around to not give a shit one way or another about images, despite what Aesop would have us believe? I hope so.